Hello everyone, this is Payal Raja. Welcome to Pharma Desert. In this video, we will discuss about microbial spoilage of pharmaceutical products part 1. So let's get started. These are the list of contents we will discuss in this video. Definition, significance of study, types of microbial spoilage of pharmaceutical, physico-chemical spoilage, chemical spoilage, biological spoilage, factors affecting microbial spoilage, and last one is source of contamination. First one, definition. What is microbial spoilage? Spoilage of pharmaceutical products and drugs that are referred as the changes in the physical and chemical properties in such a way that the formulation or therapeutic agents gets deteriorate and become not suitable for use. So spoilage of pharmaceutical product or any drug product that are referred to as if any changes in physical and chemical properties of the formulation or therapeutic agents they gets deteriorate and that become not suitable for use. So microbial spoilage, which includes contamination of pharmaceutical product with the microbes and which leads to spoilage of products by affecting drug safety, quality, and it is not intended for use. So exactly what is microbial spoilage? Microbial spoilage means contamination of any products, contamination of any pharmaceutical products with the microorganism and they lead to spoilage of product and then it is directly affected to drug safety and quality and that is not used for and that is not intended for use. Next one is shortly defined as deterioration of pharmaceutical product by contaminant microbes that are called as pharmaceutical product spoilage or a microbial spoilage. So if any pharmaceutical product that is deteriorate with the help of microbes that are called as microbial spoilage. There are several factors that causes spoilage of pharmaceuticals. Like first one is in physical factor, deterioration of pharmaceutical factor like heat, temperature and evaporation. Second one, chemical factors like deterioration of pharmaceutical products because of chemical reactions like oxidation, reduction, hydrolysis, proteolysis, ionization. While microbial deterioration of pharmaceutical products due to contamination of any microbial cells like bacteria, fungi and mold. So what was the significance of study or what was the importance of study? To determine the microbial contaminants that is present in any formulation and to avoid the health hazard related to the microbial infection. So first one is this study which determine microbial contaminants that is present in any formulation that is also used to avoid the health hazard that are related to microbial infections and to acquire knowledge about sources and different types of microbial contaminants that are related to different dosage and their deterioration action. So to avoid the financial problem for manufacturer due to loss of products, it is useful. To find out the limits of microbial content in pharmaceutical products as well as that is also useful for parenteral, oral and topical preparation. They causes infections after microbial contamination and serious condition that can be seen in case of thyroid fever by investigation of contaminated thyroid tablets. Types of microbial spoilage. So which type of microbial spoilage that occur in pharmaceuticals? First one is physicochemical spoilage. In physicochemical spoilage, examples is viable growth, gas production. Third one is physical spoilage. Physical spoilage have two subtype, olfactory and coloration. So all are the physicochemical spoilage. First one is viable growth, gas production. Physical spoilage have two subtypes, olfactory and coloration. Next one is chemical spoilage. In chemical spoilage, hydrolysis, acetylation, depolymerization and degradation all are the types of chemical spoilage. Last one is in biological spoilage, release of toxins and microbial metabolites. First one, physicochemical spoilage. In this kind of spoilage, there are some changes that are caused by microbial species, and due to these changes, the physical properties are also get altered, and thus it is called as physicochemical spoilage. So what is the meaning of physico as well as chemical spoilage? So that is the one type of spoilage, and there are some changes occur, and that is caused by microbial species, and due to these changes physical properties are deteriorate or change, so that are called as physicochemical spoilage. So that is the combination of physical as well as chemical alteration. Next one is viable growth. In viable growth, microbial cells form a viable layer over the surface of pharmaceutical formulation, and this layer or the presence of microbial cell can be clearly seen by a naked eye. So in viable growth, microbial cells they form a viable layer over the surface of pharmaceutical formulation, and this viable layer or the presence of microbial cell that is easily seen with the help of naked eye. Examples: layer of mold over the syrup or sugar containing product, tablets, cream and ointment. So layer of mold, that is the layer of mold over the syrup, that is easily seen with the help of naked eye. Next one is coloration, that is occurs due to the alteration in components, chemical nature, and these changes that are caused by change in pH of formulation, redox of product, production of some other metabolites by microorganism. So in coloration, that is occur due to the alteration in the components like chemical nature, and this change is that is caused by change in the pH of formulation, otherwise that is caused by redox of product, production of some other metabolites by microorganism, etc. Examples: in coloration, Pseudomonas species microorganism, they metabolize wide range of metabolites, and that causes coloration of blue, green and brown. And surface decoloration of tablets they containing biological products by some mold. Next one is gas production. Some organisms contains in pharmaceutical formulation produce the gas by their metabolic activity, and they form a gas bubbles and broth over the formulation. So in gas production, gas that is formed, and that is formed pharmaceutical formulation, they produce the gas by their metabolic activity, and they form the gas bubbles over any formulations. So product containing carbohydrate or any starchy material that are more susceptible for gas production. Let's take one example. Production of CO2 in syrup that is caused by osmotolerant mold as well as yeast, and Klebsiella produce gas in the creams and ointments containing vitamins and proteins, while desulfofibril oxidize simple organic compounds, and they produce hydrogen sulfide in a suspension. Next one, in physical spoilage. These are some changes in physical appearance, and that is caused by microbial cell activity. So let's take one example. In emulsion, some microbial cell they causes hydrolysis of oil phase, and they causes changes in oil water equilibrium and make a emulsion unstable. While hydrolysis of oil they also affects the pH of formulation, and they alter the stability of emulsion. While in case of syrup, microbial cells they metabolize sugar molecule and due to which concentration of syrup changes and product become unstable. In chemical spoilage, these are various type of chemical spoilage in pharmaceutical compound. This occurs due to various type of chemical reaction and this is mediated by contaminating microorganism. So chemical spoilage that is occurs due to various type of chemical reaction and these chemical reactions that is mediated by contaminating microorganism. First one, hydrolysis. Some bacteria cells they contains enzyme and that catalyze hydrolysis of pharmaceuticals. So in hydrolysis, some bacteria cell they contain the enzyme and this enzyme catalyze hydrolysis of pharmaceuticals. Example, atropine hydrolyzed by Pseudomonas bacteria and aspirin that is hydrolyzed by Bacillus species. So some pharmaceutical product that is hydrolyzed with some bacterial species. Next one is acetylation. Some microorganism cellular enzymes they cause acetylation of drugs and they cause loss of activity. So in acetylation, some microorganism cellular enzyme they causes acetylation of drugs and after acetylation lose the activity. So let's take one example of acetylation. Chloramphenicol acetylation it is caused by Staphylococci and Streptococci gram-positive bacteria by the enzyme chloramphenicol acetyl transferase. So chloramphenicol acetylation that is caused by Staphylococci and Streptococci species gram-positive bacteria with the help of enzyme chloramphenicol acetyl transferase. So acetylation occurs with the help of acetyl transferase enzyme. And next one is depolymerization. In depolymerization, that is a process in which polymers are degraded to their monomers and a lots of polymers that are used in formulation of many types of pharmaceutical preparation as a diluents, binders, thickening agent, etc. So what is depolymerization? Depolymerization that is a one type of process in which polymers that are degraded or that are converted into the monomer form. So a lots of polymer that are used in the formulation of many types of pharmaceutical preparations. So polymers that are used for many type of pharmaceutical preparation like diluents, binder, suspending agent, etc. So starch or glucose they depolarize by bacteria amylase enzyme. Degradation. Due to the microbial contamination, the active therapeutic agents or the formulation ingredients that can be degraded or metabolized. An example is penicillin that is degraded by beta-lactamase they containing bacterial cells and prednisolone that is degraded by aspergillus species. So in degradation, due to microbial contamination, active therapeutic agent or the formulation ingredient all are degraded or metabolized. An example is penicillin that is degraded by beta-lactamase enzyme and while prednisolone species that is degraded by aspergillus species. Next one is biological spoilage. Some bacterial cells contaminated the pharmaceuticals and they utilized various compounds that are present in that formulation for performing metabolic activities. So due to these metabolic activities, the microbial cells they produce certain chemicals and which they release in the pharmaceutical preparation that are called as biological spoilage. So mainly two types of chemicals that are released by microorganisms. First one is microbial toxins. Several microorganisms produce toxic molecules that may cause spoilage of pharmaceutical formulation like such as endotoxin they produced by some gram-negative bacteria like E. coli. So in microbial toxin, some organisms they produce the toxic molecule, and this toxic molecule they causes spoilage of formulation and such endotoxin that is produced by gram-negative bacteria like E. coli. Next one is microbial metabolites. So bacterial metabolites that are the biosynthetic products from the microbial cells, and bacterial cell they produces various metabolites which causes product spoilage because of this metabolite are toxic to the human beings. So in microbial metabolite, bacterial metabolite that are the biosynthetic product, and this biosynthetic product from microbial cell, bacterial cell produce the various metabolites and they causes product spoilage because of metabolites are toxic for human beings. Examples: different types of amine as well as organic acid from the bacterial cell, and metabolites from fungi and molds, and fungi and molds that are more specifically grow on formulations having the talc, kaolin and starch. Factor affecting to microbial spoilage. So by understanding the influence of environmental parameters on microorganism, it may be possible to manipulate formulations to create a conditions which are as unfavorable as possible for growth and spoilage, and within the limitations of patient acceptability and therapeutic efficacy. So first factor is size of contaminant inoculum. So what was the inoculum size? Low level of contaminant they may be present in a product, but it would cause low rates of deterioration, while ingredients that are contaminated by high level of microorganism they causes appreciable microbial degradation. So what was the size of contaminant inoculum? First one, if low level of contaminant is present in the product, but it would causes low level. If low level of contaminant is present, they causes low level of deterioration, and ingredients if contaminant by high level of microorganism, so they causes high rates of deterioration. However, inoculum size alone is not always a reliable indicator of likely spoilage potential. So a very low level of Pseudomonas in a weakly preserved solution, they may suggest a greater risk than the tablets containing high number of fungal and bacterial spores. So inoculum size alone, that is not a reliable indicator for the spoilage. So if a very low level of Pseudomonas in a weakly preserved solution, they may also suggest greater risk than the tablets they containing higher number of fungi. So preservation, there is also one type of factor to avoid microbial spoilage. Different concentration of quaternary ammonium compounds, sodium hypochlorite, ethanol and formaldehyde solution all are used as a disinfectant in a cleaning area, and cetrimide or chlorhexidine in about 70% alcohol that are suitable for use as a skin disinfectant. So cetrimide that are used as a skin disinfectant. Next one is air supply. That is, air supply for clean room must be filtered through HEPA filters, and HEPA filter must be positioned at a inlet of clean room, and pre-filter may be fitted upstream of HEPA filters to prolong the life of final filter. So HEPA filter we already discussed in sterilization. HEPA filters are used in the construction of vertical and horizontal laminar airflow bench. The air velocity at all the parts of filter area, that is about 0.54 meter per second, and removes the dioctyl particles of size about 0.3 micrometer, while the air that is filtered from laminar airflow that is claimed to be 99.97% free from microbial contamination, and these filters are supported to provide class 100 air, and they should be certified every 6 to 12 months. So air quality that is evaluated using Setterplatz, microbial air sampler or by particle counters. Next one is nutritional factors. So gross microbial spoilage of pharmaceutical products generally require appreciable growth of contaminating organism within the dosage form, and most of organic and inorganic ingredients act as a potential carbon or a nitrogen substance for microbial growth. So gross microbial spoilage of product that is generally required, and that is appreciable growth of contaminating species within dosage forms. Most of organic and inorganic ingredients that are act as a potential carbon or nitrogen substance for microbial growth. The complexity of many formulations, they offers considerable nutritional varieties for a wide range of organisms. So the use of crude vegetables or animal products in a formulation, they provide an additionally nutritional environment, and even demineralized water that are prepared by good ion exchange methods will normally contain sufficient nutrition to allow significant growth of many waterborne gram-negative bacteria such as Pseudomonas species. Next one is moisture content, that is a water activity. So moisture microorganisms, they require readily accessible water in appreciable quantity for growth to occur. So microorganisms that require the water for growth of species. So by measuring a product's water activity, it is possible to obtain an estimate of proportion of uncomplexed water that is available in the formulation which support microbial growth using the formula like vapor pressure of formulation or vapor pressure of water under similar condition. So by measuring a product's water activity, it is possible to obtain estimate of proportion of uncomplexed water, and that is available in the formulation which support microbial growth using the formula like vapor pressure of formulation of water under a similar condition. Next one is most microorganisms grow best at high water activity. So if higher water activity is present, most of the microorganisms are grow properly. Hence the formulation can be protected from microbial attack by lowering their water activity with additional of suitable level of sugar, polyethylene glycol or sodium chloride, or by drying. So formulations that can be protected from microbial growth or microbial attack by lowering water activity. Next one is pH. So extreme level of pH, they also prevent the microbial attack. How it is prevented? Around neutrality, bacterial spoilage that is more likely. So if neutral pH is present, bacterial spoilage that is more occur, and with reports of Pseudomonas and related gram-negative bacteria growing in antacid mixtures, flavored mouthwash, and in still or demineralized water. So above pH 8, spoilage is rare, and in products with lower pH, mold or yeast attack is more likely. So if extreme level of pH is present, they prevent microbial attack. So around if a neutral pH is present, so bacterial spoilage is occur, and with the report of Pseudomonas species and related gram-negative bacteria that are growing in antacid mixture, flavored mouthwash as well as demineralized water. But above the pH 8 spoilage that is rare, and in the product with the lower pH level, If pH is that is about acidic pH 3 to 4, mold or yeast attack that is more likely. And yeast can metabolize organic acid and raise the pH to the levels where secondary bacterial growth they can occur. Minimum water activity that supports growth of some organisms. So that are the examples of microorganism, and that is the water activity concentration. Storage temperature. So spoilage of pharmaceutical could occur potentially over the range of about -20 degrees centigrade to 60 degrees centigrade. And the particular storage temperature, they must selectively determine type of organism that are involved in the spoilage. So deep freeze at -20 degrees centigrade, that is used for long-term storage of some pharmaceutical raw material, and short-term storage of dispensed total parenteral nutrition feeds which is prepared in a hospital. So that is regarding storage temperature. So spoilage of microbial species that is occur between -20 to 60 degrees centigrade. So reconstituted serum and multi-dose eye drops packs are sometimes dispensed with instruction. Reconstituted serum or multi-dose eye drop that are packed properly and that are instructed to store in a cool place, such as temperature is about 8 to 20 degrees centigrade, so that reduce the risk of growth of contaminant. Conversely, water for injection, it should be held at 80 degrees centigrade or above after distillation and before packing, because a sterilization that is prevent possible regrowth of gram-negative species and release of endotoxin. Next one is redox potential. Ability of microbes which grow in an environment that is affected by its oxidation reduction balance, and as they will require compatible terminal electron acceptor to permit their respiratory pathways to the function. So in redox potential, ability of microbes, they will grow in environment and that is affected by its oxidation reduction balance. So as they will require compatible terminal electron acceptor which permit their respiratory pathway for the function. In the redox potential, even in fairly viscous emulsion, they may be quite high due to the appreciable solubility of oxygen in most fat as well as oils. In packaging design, packaging they can have a major influence on microbial stability of some formulations in controlling the entry of contaminants during both storage as well as use. So packaging that have a major effect on microbial stability of formulation. They control the entry of contaminant during storage as well as during use. So considerable thought has gone into the design of containers which prevent the ingress of contaminants into the medicines for the parenteral administration, and owing to the higher risk of infection by this route. So self-sealing rubber wards must be used to prevent microbial entry into multi-dose injection containers following withdrawal with a hypodermic needle. Where the medicines rely on their low water activity which prevent spoilage, and packaging such as strip foils must be of water vapor-proof material with fully efficient seal. Cardboard outer packaging and labels themselves can become a substrate for microbial attack under the humid conditions, and preservatives that are often included for reduce the risk of damage. Next one is source of contamination. Contaminants can gain entry into the production process stream from several sources. So which type of sources are available for contamination? Like personal source, poor facility design, incoming ventilation air, machinery and other equipments for the production, raw material and semi-finished material, packaging materials, utilities, different media that are used in the production process as well as for cleaning and clean room clothing. So all are the source of contamination. We will discuss one by one. These are the schematic diagram of source of contamination. Personal. The first source is personal. Personal who are supervising or performing drug manufacturing or control that can be a potential source of microbial contamination and a vector for other contaminants. So person, that is a supervisor or that are act as a drug manufacturing person, they, that is the potential source for microbial contamination. And the main reason for contamination from the personal, which includes lack of training as well as direct contact between operator's hand and starting materials, primary packaging materials, and intermediate or bulk product. So what was the main reason for the contamination from person? So various reasons are required for personal contamination. That is, if person that are not that much aware of he is not aware of any training or he is not a skilled person. Next one is direct contact between operator's hand as well as starting materials. Inadequate personal cleanliness, that is the second source or second reason for person contamination. Access of unauthorized person into the production, storage and product control area. If any person that is not a skilled person, that have not any type of training, so this type of unauthorized person, if they handling production, storage and product control area, so they directly affect contamination. Inadequate gowning and personal protective equipment, as well as malpractice like eating food, drinking beverage or using tobacco in the store and processing area. So if you are not properly wear gowning or personal protective equipment are not properly handled, otherwise if you are eating food, drinking beverage or are using tobacco in storage and processing area, all are the source of contamination via persons. Next one is building and facility. So the building and manufacturing facility, they may also contribute to the contamination. How it is contributed? Insufficient size and inadequate organization, insufficient size and inadequate organization of space, they leading to the selection errors like mix-up or cross-contamination between consumable raw materials, in-process materials as well as finished products. So insufficient size and inadequate organism of space, they leading to the selection error like mix-up error, cross-contamination between consumable raw materials, etc. So inadequate filth and pest control as well as rough floor, wall and ceiling, lack of air filtration system, improper lighting as well as improper ventilation, poorly located vent and drains, inadequate washing, cleaning toilets, cleaning as well as inadequate toilet facility, locker facility which allow for sanitary operations, cleaning of facilities, equipment and utensils. So all are the reasons they do a contamination via building facilities. Next one is equipment. The equipment and utensils used in processing, holding, transferring and packaging, that are the common source of pharmaceutical contamination, and the main reason for contamination from the equipment, that are the inappropriate design, inappropriate size of equipment or material that are leading to the corrosion and accumulation of static material or adulteration with lubricants, colorant, dirt and sanitizing agent. So all are the reason of equipment and utensils that are contaminated with microorganisms. Another reasons are improper cleaning and sanitization, design preventing proper cleaning and maintenance, while improper calibration and irregular service, and deliberate use of defective equipment. Next one is materials. So raw material that are used for production that can be potential source for contamination. How raw materials they produce the contamination? Main reasons for contamination from raw materials they include storage and handling mistakes, they causing mix-up or selection error. So storage and handling mistakes they causes the mix-up, while contamination with microorganism or other chemicals, as well as next reason is degradation from exposure to excessive environmental conditions like heat, cold, sunlight, moisture. All are the parameters they directly affect raw material, and so raw material are easily contaminated. Improper labeling, improper sampling as well as testing, and last one is use of material that are failed to meet acceptable specification. So all are the reason behind material contamination. Next one is manufacturing process. How it is contaminated. So there are the various opportunities for contamination of raw material, intermediates or packaging material throughout the manufacturing process. So reasons are lack of dedicated facilities to manufacture a single product. So lack of facilities for manufacturing any single product. So that is a one type of contamination source. Inappropriate cleaning in between batches to minimize the amount of product changeovers, as well as absence of area line clearance according to approved procedure following each cleaning process and between each batch. And last one is lack of cleaning status leveling on all the equipment and materials that are used within manufacturing facilities, that are also used to minimize risk of manufacturing contamination and manufacture products in a comparison with the appropriately qualified cleaning process and checks the performed in between batches to minimize the amount of product changeover. So utilize a closed manufacturing system, and this is where the product that is not exposed to the immediate room environment. So perform a area line clearance according to approved procedure following each cleaning process and between each batch zone facility, as well as use the cleaning status labeling on all the equipment and material used within manufacturing facility. Last one is the HVAC system, that is stand for heating, ventilation and air conditioning, and a poor HVAC system that can be a potential source of microbial growth and transportation mode for dispersing contaminants throughout the manufacturing facility. So the main reason of contamination due to HVAC issue that includes accumulation of organic material in or near the HVAC, air intakes, ineffective filtration of supply air, as well as insufficient magnitude of pressure differential, they causing the flow of reversal, while erroneous ratio of fresh air to recirculated air, inability to assess the ventilation damper, as well as filter from outside the manufacturing area. And last one is non-directional airflow within production or primary packaging area. So if any query or doubts related to topic, please write your questions in comment box. Thank you.